Hi everyone, welcome to World Affairs in Context. Before we begin, please take a second to follow the podcast on alternative media channels. You will find them linked in the description below. On October the 22nd, Tuesday, 9 members of BRICS Plus, along with representatives of more than 30 countries that have either formally applied to join or expressed their interest, are meeting in Kazan in Russia. Kazan is a beautiful Asian city with a very, very rich history in Russia's Republic of Tatarstan in the southwestern part of the country. The summit is actually the 16th held, and without a doubt, its popularity has increased dramatically even since last year. BRICS Plus has become a key geopolitical actor while being able to balance its main economic objectives to introduce an alternative financial system that will challenge the US dollar and, along with it, US hegemony. Days prior to the summit, in a very positive yet surprising move, China and India, the two countries that had an ongoing border crisis, that had a quiet, violent turn in 2022, the two countries have agreed to come to a diplomatic solution and to settle the dispute. Without a doubt, this is a testament to the increasing ability of the Global South to see past their differences and to seek diplomatic solutions to political problems. The settlement of the border dispute sends a very strong, a very clear message to the West that despite major differences, it is possible to focus on cooperation rather than on fueling wars. The BRICS Bloc Summit will last 3 days from October the 22nd to October the 24th. On the very first day, Russian President Putin met with China's President Xi Jinping, as well as the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. It is worth pointing out that 19 heads of state are in attendance. 19 heads of state are in attendance. The overarching goal of the economic alliance is, of course, to challenge the US hegemony and to seek initiatives and ways, to seek practical ways to shift away from its political and economic monopoly. The president of Russia plans to meet with every single one of the leaders individually. It is also worth saying that United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is also expected to attend, and he is going to meet with Russia's President Putin. Without a doubt, the event in Kazan is a major one, and it signals to the entire world that multipolarity is no longer a conspiracy theory. It is no longer someone's narrative. Multipolarity is indeed the new world order, if you will. And the BRICS nations are seeking to find new, effective approaches to global governance. BRICS partners are reducing their dependence on the United States dollar and the SWIFT financial messaging system. They're looking for alternatives. Now, I have to say that Western media threw a bit of a fit over so many high-profile attendees at the BRICS Plus Summit. Let's take a quick look. I think this is very, very interesting. So CNN reported the West wants Putin isolated. A major summit that he's hosting shows he's far from alone. Daily Mail, they reported Putin sends defined message to the West as he gathers world leaders for BRICS Summit to show sanctions aren't working. Then, of course, the article was edited after it had been published, and they added, but cracks are showing. So they had to throw in something in there to make it benefit their own agenda, because clearly reporting positive commentary about the Global South is a taboo in the United Kingdom and the US as well. Time wrote, hosting BRICS Summit of world leaders, Russia shows the West that it is not isolated. Nations ranging from Malaysia and Thailand to Nicaragua and NATO member Turkey are eager to join BRICS. Western mainstream media can no longer deny that its attempts to isolate, to discredit Russia were indeed unsuccessful, and so we see these reports all over the news today. Here are the top 5 items on the BRICS Plus Summit agenda. I will walk you through the top 5 and I will make subsequent videos to go into further details over the course of the next several days. So as I discussed previously, new members are not expected to be announced this week. Last year, China and Russia supported expansion, while Brazil indicated that it did not see the need to expand at that point in time. So the bloc, of course, will expand. We have so many nations attempting to join and submitting formal applications, but its top priority right now is to finalize its partner model, as well as to integrate those states that have been admitted this year. So those are the top 2 goals in terms of new memberships. Just like the EU, the BRICS plans to have a prospective member category where non-member states can engage with the bloc prior to submitting their application to join. This is the right move, and it should, in theory, prevent what happened with Argentina that was invited, but of course, Javier Milei, the president of Argentina, declined to join. And it should prevent situations such as with Saudi Arabia, since the kingdom, I should say rather, still appears to be on the fence. The second item on the BRICS Summit agenda is increased trade in local currencies. This is a big one. As I mentioned yesterday, the UAE-Russia trade tripled since 2021, and this is just one example of how countries of the Global South seek to develop their economic collaboration. The third item that I will cover is the BRICS Cross-Border Payment Initiative. This is a blockchain-based system that will work in 2 ways. 1, trade, and 2, foreign direct investments. Both are equally important. BRICS Pay is a small part of the system. The BRICS bloc is expected to focus on the development of the system at this time during the summit. It is not going to be fully launched, so please don't expect announcements that the new blockchain-based system is fully launched. It is still under development, but important steps are expected to be taken during the summit to make sure that it is on the right track and it is on a successful path forward. Item number 4 is the need to re-envision and to recalibrate global governance. This is perhaps the most important one, arguably, because it is a tool to reflect that growing geopolitical weight of the BRICS Plus. Previously, Russian foreign minister indicated that the bloc seeks to coordinate between G20, G7, and BRICS interests. The 5 founding members of the BRICS Plus are members of the G20, as you know, and so their economic interests can no longer be dismissed by the G7, whose economies and economic output continue to decline. The last item on the BRICS Summit agenda in Kazan is sustainable development in the context of climate change. While the majority of members of the bloc previously voiced their support for COP30 and the transition to sustainable energy resources, Brazil is likely the most vocal state about this particular issue. Members of the Economic Alliance will discuss the best way to transition to a low-emission economy, low-carbon economy during the next couple of days. They will also do so in the context of the realities that they are facing. So this is not going to be something that is effectively dictated by the West, because in many cases, Western countries seek to implement these technologies and to set these timelines that don't work for developing nations. And so from this perspective, this is going to be a good way to make sure that the transition takes place along the lines that work for the Global South. During the summit kickoff, Foreign Minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, summed up the goal of the BRICS perfectly, and I would like to read this to you because this is precisely what's making the BRICS so popular. This is what's driving its expansion. Sergei Lavrov said, BRICS epitomizes the shifts that have been underway in the global economy. New centers of economic growth are emerging, and alongside them comes financial influence, which in turn brings political influence. BRICS has prioritized the needs of its nations, and interest in the grouping continues to grow. It is a consortium where no single nation leads or is led, devoid of the bureaucratic machinery akin to that observed in Brussels, where EU officials impose decisions that contravene the will and interests of several member states. BRICS, conversely, does not compel any nation to make sacrifice. Recently, German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock remarked and later reiterated that she is aware German voters face hardships due to Germany's support for Ukraine, acknowledging a scarcity of resources for all, yet advocating patience. This logic of pressure from the European bureaucracy in Brussels, which seeks to dictate terms to its voters and member states, is entirely absent within BRICS. Although the European Union offers access to European markets, its political demands and its subservience to US foreign policy make it a very unappealing option to many states that want to retain their sovereignty. BRICS Plus is now recognized as an appealing alternative. I will be uploading more videos, and I plan on publishing content related to the BRICS Summit over on my Substack at worldaffairsIncontext.com. Make sure that you join me there. Thank you for watching. Remember to show your support. It truly goes a long way. Like, subscribe, and share. For exclusive content, make sure that you check out my alternative social media channels. I hope to see you there as well. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you soon again. Take care.